But what's going on, everyone? Let's go ahead and talk about today's class. We are covering Fibs today. Who here and I know we got some traders in here. But who here likes to use, or I want to say is like a consistent user of Fibs? And then the other question that I like to ask, because I think this question is pretty on point, especially with the way some people are, I guess, brought up in the trading community. Some people don't know how to use Fibs. Is that you? Please let me know in the chat box if that is you. You have no idea how to use Fibs. Is that you, Manpri? You don't know how to use Fibs? That's okay. I'm here to make it real simple. Fibs. First of all, I want you guys to write this down, because this is going to be wherever you guys write notes when you go to class. I hope you take notes, because you're going to need this shit, right? I really hope that you use these notes, because this is things for you to go over. It's like a cheat code, a cheat sheet, right? I'm not telling you can't take notes. Take notes. I encourage it. But write this down. Fibs will make your trading life easy. Fibs is learning how to speak trading language, right? I bet you that if you were to be dropped off, if you don't know how to speak Spanish, and you get dropped off in the middle of Mexico, away from your fancy resort, I think it will help you if you know how to speak Spanish, right? Won't you agree? Like if you were very fluent in Spanish, right? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to learn how to speak this trading language. The trading language is going to help you. Hold on, fam. The trading language is going to make trading a hell of a lot easier. And my favorite language is going to be Fibs, right? And I encourage you, once you learn this today, and once we go over it, and once you understand it, not understand it, but once you kind of get a little gist of it, I want you to practice it repeatedly over and over. Because when we start breaking down Apex, okay? When we start breaking down Apex, Fibs is going to be a big key point in confirmations, in pretty much the answer of whether you're right or wrong. Fibs is going to be the one to do that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you, first of all, to write down these settings, all right? I don't know when you watch class, if you're not busy or if you're at home, that you follow along with me whenever I show you this chart, because you have access to all of this, right? TradingView.com, create a free account, start playing with the charts, right? Where you're gonna go here, and the first thing you're going to do is click right here on the left-hand side and look for this little box that says Fib Retracement, and then this will be your settings for Fibs. I want you guys to screenshot these or write these down. So you're gonna go to Style, and this is what I have on. The color doesn't really matter. That's more for me. I make everything black just so I see it easier. And then I like to make these two red. And I encourage you to make them in a different color than your entire chart, because I call that my hot zone, right? And that's right here in this box, right here in this box. And you will see that every time you do it, it's going to make sense. It's going to line up properly, exactly where the golden ratio precisely is, right? And the Fibonacci retracement is a mathematical calculation that was created by a guy whose last name was Fibonacci. I don't know his first name. I keep forgetting it. But this was the rule, that whenever something was in movement, it will always tend to come back to what's called a golden ratio to accumulate momentum to keep going, right? For example, this is the scenario that he gave, right? And then I like to use it because it's pretty simple to use, right? But he said, say you're drawing a circle, right? So the circle starts here and it comes down, but not a perfect circle, like a inner circle, right? The circle comes back around and it comes back to this area to accumulate momentum to drop. And then it comes back down to this area to accumulate momentum to push up. And then it comes back down to and it keeps doing this over and over and over and over and over and over. And it pretty much specifies that the entire move has a ratio every time you do it of 50% of where the circle should come back to, right? And you can also do it, I don't do it this way, but you can also do the ratio in this scenario like this, going from like high here, low here. That's just the way he explained it. But it makes sense, right? Because it's very true. It's the same thing he specified about how when mountains, right, mountain valleys or mountain tops are created, there needs to be a certain retracement. So when the mountain goes up, it's not gonna go up forever because then it will fall and it will collapse, right? Rather, what he said is that the mountain has to go up, come back down to a certain zone to accumulate stability and momentum, and then push up to go to the next valley and do the same thing over and over and over again. All right, this here is called an Elliott wave, which is also used based on the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so that's pretty much what it is. And we do that here in trading. And in trading, when we look at charts, because no chart is going to be forever standing up. As a matter of fact, if the market was to always go up, there will be no money to be made. The money is in the volatility. We need volatility in order to make some money. All right. If we need bear markets for that to be bull markets, and we need bull markets for there to be bear markets. It's not going to just be one animal. There's two. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. If we look at a currency pair, let's look at a basic pair today. By the way, I have a sell on 30. I forgot to tell you guys that. You might want to take this sell if you're confident, because I think that, again, I'm gonna use this example. Let me go to the 4-hour. Based on what's happening here, all right, I am seeing a swing high to swing low, and I'm gonna take this one right up here. All right, previous high to the previous low, and I am seeing price not just break below our zone to continue down to the to the pits of hell, but here's what I see too. I am seeing price swing high, swing low, bounce back up, 618 retracement, very, very nice. Boom, boom, boom. Start to shoot back down. But here's the crazy part. We have multiple closures below our zone. Multiple confirmation closures below our zone. If you've been trading Apex with me for a while, you know what that means. That means green light for direction. Okay. So boom, confirmation keeps going. This is going to continue to drop. The only thing that's going to be in our way is us breaking this very strong support up here. We break this support and we continue on down. Hallelujah. We are in for a massive, massive sell. We are good. Okay. And then we just continue to ride that wave down, which is what I love to see. All right. So, right, I'm zooming out. Let me go to the 1-day chart. Right, 1-day chart. And if I was to take this trade anywhere, where would I take it to? Well, that's the big question. All I know is that I'm in for a sell. All right. And if I also take this anywhere, it'll probably first be to about 31,250, and then so on. But overall, fam, we could be looking at 29,000 points in the market. Like we could see this thing just do one big meltdown all the way down here. So possibility. Landscapers are here. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's what I want you guys to write down as I am showing you these Fibonacci retracements. Let's go to do a pair like USD CAD. All right, USD CAD is one of my favorite currencies to trade, one of my first starting pairs to trade, and it's a very, very, very lucrative pair that tends to be very reactive to news. NFP, for example, today we have unemployment rates. Unemployment came in lower than expected. They wanted 205, they got 182. So let me look at this one here. Let's go to the 4-hour and see what we can see. Any scenarios for Fibs? Yeah, we got a few. But it's always that retracement that I look for. And sometimes you might have to switch time frames just to get a better view. All right. So for example, here's my confirmation of a continuation going to the upside on 30, right? So I'm gonna have to change the time frame for this because it's good on a 15, but it'll look better on a different time frame. But I'm gonna draw it out for you here. Okay. Here's the low to the last swing low, and then here's the last swing high, right? So this is going If I'm going low to high, that means that my expectation is to continue upwards because the retracement comes down and shoots up, right? So I'm going to put this at the very base of the last drawdown, the last swing low, and I'm going to tip it all the way to the top, wherever my crosshairs are, right here at the tippity top of the last swing high, which is right up here. Okay. And I'm going to see the price already has come down and swung up, swung down to 50%, right? It touched that hot zone. It's between 50 and 618. Now, in some scenarios, you're going to get a very, very, very steep retracement, like 77, 88, very strong ones, which take a little bit of more momentum to push up. And as a matter of fact, sometimes when you hit those, it might be a confirmation of a reversal. And you usually see those when you start to see the trend to change and start to go from higher highs to lower highs. All right. So it looks nice on a 15. But if I switch to the 30-minute, it looks even nicer. You see, more accurate. Let me go to the 1 hour. Now it's looking a lot better. All right. Let me go to the 2 hour. Now that's looking real clean right there. You see what I'm talking about? Swing low, swing high, switch to the line chart so it looks better. There it is. Swing low, swing high, boom, upwards. So this here is looking very, very accurate for a continuation to the upside and finally get this trade to hit TP because this has been going on for a while. Since February, actually. Let's see. So yeah, I like the 1 day. I mean the 1 hour. You see that? Is this making sense to you? So all you have to do is look at a currency pair, whatever it is that you're trading, and find those swing lows and find those swing highs and pretty much confirm the entry you're going to take. Now, here's what Fibs can really help you to do. Let me try another pair like GJ, my second favorite currency to pair to trade. Oh, this was good. This was good. If we have confirmation in the next 30 minutes, we might take this for a buy. Okay. But looking at this right here. So we have a very strong, we have a very, very strong support right here. So I actually want to take this. Let's see if we can take a trade on GJ today. Okay. Right. Starts right here, actually. Right there. And I might move it down a little bit just for me right there. Okay. So here's the crazy part. You see this base, this line I just drew is being respected both as a resistance, meaning price coming from using it as a roof, and a support, meaning price using it as a floor, right? Where it can physically stand on. So here you see price, boom, boom, and it's respecting it, and it's kind of, giving it some nice price action in that area, all right? So we're seeing the same thing here. And now when I'm here, there's a couple of confirmations I'm looking for. I'm literally showing you what I'm going to do to see if this trade makes sense and if I would take this live trade, all right? Number one, I'm going to make sure that my zone is valid, that it's a good support. I'm seeing a lot of wick action. That's always good, right? I'm seeing 32 minutes left on the candle closure. It's a good sign, but I might want to wait for a 15. That's 2 more 15-minute candles. It's still above the zone. I'll keep an eye both on the 1 hour and the 15-minute time frame, okay? I'm seeing this not breaking is being respected, right? I'm also seeing market structure, right? For those of you that know how to trade, what market structure am I looking at? Okay. Market structure. What is this? What is market structure? What market structure can possibly be coming out of this scenario right now? Who knows? Nobody? Do. I'll tell you. I will tell you. You have a W. You have a double bottom being formed right there. All right. You have a double bottom being formed right here, which means up. All right. That's one confirmation. Number two is going to be when it closes above this zone. That's number two. Number three, I'm going to move it up to a higher time frame. and I'm going to look at retracements from this swing high to this swing low. And I'm looking at price technically already very little retraced to the 50%. And it happened in about 8 hours, right? Boom, boom, right? Actually 4 hours. It retraced to this one in 4 hours. It went back up and it came back down, but it's retracing this floor again. So maybe that wasn't the true pullback, right? Just because you see a pullback doesn't mean it's the only one. You might get 2, you might get 3, and then boom. And then it starts to create what's called a bearish flag. You'll see the price kind of do this for a little bit, right? And then come down, which is a bearish flag. Okay. So we are looking at this. Everything is looking great, man. This is looking phenomenal. The 4 hour will be the ultimate confirmation. We got 2.5 hours for that one. Okay, but I'm not gonna wait 2.5 hours. I'm gonna look at the 1 hour and I'm gonna look at the 15-minute. These are the two I'm gonna be keeping an eye on. Once these close above, and that's especially that 1 hour and 30 minutes, so around 11 o'clock a.m. EST. If this closes above this line, even if we get a bullish engulfing over this one, which we already have, but we get a bullish confirmation, a second bullish candle, that's going to be a confirmation for a buy for me. Okay. And where am I going to take it to? Well, that's what Fibs are for. Fibs helps us determine when to enter and when to exit. Okay. So if these are my Fibs on the 1 hour and I take this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing trade, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my long position and I'm going to say I'm going to enter right here. Okay. My stop loss, I don't go based on where, I go based on how much. So what I do is I usually like to, now again, if you're starting, like if you have a really small account, $100, 200, 500 miles, whatever, right? You want to use the compound calculator that I showed you to determine how many pips you need to risk per trade, right? How many pips you need to risk for trade. So for example, if you have a $100 account and you're risking 2%, what does that mean? That means you cannot lose more than $2, which isn't a lot. This is why I don't encourage small accounts. Okay. So 2% of your account should be at risk. You convert that into how many pips. Okay. So for this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and make my stop loss a nice chunky 250. Okay. I'm pretty good with 250. And I'm going to analyze how high. Where can we possibly go? All right, so I'm gonna switch to a higher time frame. Let's look at the day. Day's looking real good. Okay, day showing good possibilities. I am seeing price come down, give me the boom, 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 and then break this level. Okay, it broke this level right here, this little box, and now I broke above. Now it's in this level, so it's a continuation. Good job. Above this zone. So I would say I could take that trade to, let's see, even the top of this one is real nice. But let me go for a nice round number. Let's go for 500 pips on that one right there. Okay, 500 pips, and that's if everything's accurate, right? So it's looking pretty good. On the 1 day, it hasn't fibbed yet. It hasn't retraced. On the 4 hour, it's just getting there for the second time. In the 2 hour, it already did it. Right, so I'm looking at this and I could possibly take this all the way up to match this high. Now here's the fit where fit comes in. Check this out. You ready for this one? Here's how I like to do it. TP1, TP2, TP3. 3 stops where I can check my trades. And those are things for me to check on to make sure that my trade is moving, but also to keep me adjusted with market conditions so that I can go ahead and readjust my stop loss. Cool. I did this. Now, before anything else, before I pull the trigger on this trade, can anybody take a wild guess as to what I should do? What is going to be my last confirmation for this trade, or my last thing to check for this trade? Let's see what you guys say. Who's admin? Admin, what's your name, admin? I don't know who admin is, but you're right. Admin. Yes, news. I'm going to check the news. I want to see that there's nothing coming up that will destroy my analysis. So take a look at it. Today, nothing going on here. All right, today is pretty much done. Tomorrow we have GBP consumer inflation expectations. The expectations of what people think inflation is at. Okay, not much. We got Friday. Okay, Saturday closed, Sunday closed, Monday open. Nothing for GBP. Nothing for GBP. Nothing big. CPI data for CAD is coming in on Tuesday. All right. CPI data for CAD is coming out on Wednesday morning, so that's good. And then we have a bunch. Oh, we on the 22nd, they moved it. It was the 21st. On the 22nd, we're going to have our federal funds rate meeting. So this will be, you can expect interest rate to be moved up to 5%. Another 25 basis points. So this looks good. Not much going on here. So boom, there you go. Good job, admin. Admin, who are you? Put your name down. I don't know who you are. I like people to have their names on here so I can know, could call on you. All right, good job. Yeah, news. News is the one. There's a lot of news going on right now, but most of the focus on today, on what's going on today, is just this whole banking system, right? And it's funny. I was reading an article yesterday that kind of I was reading this article yesterday and watching a video on it that explained the difference between a bank being bailed out and a bank being bailed in. And what's happening is apparently Joe Biden wanted to step in, right? And he wanted to step in and he wanted to step in and bail out the banks by printing money and all this stuff. But I guess he was blocked, couldn't do it. So then the Federal Reserve and the FDIC stepped in. And as a matter of fact, what they did was that they bailed in, which is what they were doing right now. And this doesn't make sense. A bunch of yap going back and forth, right? But if you remember what happened in 2008 when banks failed, the federal government did a bailout. They printed $7 trillion or whatever, 700 billion, and they gave it to the banks to bail out. Right, here's your money, bail yourself out, yada yada yada. And about 90% of that money went to bonuses to high-end executives that work at the banks, right? Lehman Brothers, Washington Mutual, all this stuff. Merrill Lynch, Goldman Sachs, all these big banks gave themselves bailouts and pretty much gave themselves bonuses, which is what they were needing, whatever. A bail-in is kind of what's happening with Voyager. Anybody know what's happening with Voyager? The crypto exchange Voyager. Please tell me you know what's happening or what's happened with the crypto exchange Voyager, right? With the crypto exchange Voyager, they didn't bail it out. What they did is that they took their assets, whatever they had, and they sold it. They pretty much take over the equity, whatever equity is left. And once they sell those assets, whatever's left gets distributed, right? It gets distributed amongst the banks, what they owe, debt, and then whatever is owed, whatever is not paid gets a write-off, and then they get to go to bankruptcy court, all this shit, right? That's what's happening to these banks right now. They're being bailed in because they're taking all those bonds that they purchase and they're being sold in the open market, and every single bond is being sold at a major loss. And whatever's left gets distributed. If you have accounts, right? If you have over $250,000 in your account, by definition, you should not be getting anything over that. If you have $1 million or $2 million, you can only expect to get $250,000. And if there's any money left over after the bail-in, then you get your money. If there isn't, then you're screwed. But then here comes Joe Biden trying to say, nah, don't worry about it. We got you. We're going to take care of it. So right now, I don't know who to believe or which one is right, but that's the difference between both of them. All right. Ben, please go in the chat box and let me know if you understand how to use the Fibonacci retracement. If what I just showed you makes sense. My homework to you is to practice this fib with the settings I showed you, okay? And practice them on currency pairs and indices and any chart that you want to look at. You look at crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, right? And practice this. Practice the fibs, because the fibs, I promise you, if you simply use fibs and stand by them and use them in every trade you take, your trading will be extremely, extremely, extremely lucrative. You will do extremely well in your trading, okay? If you simply follow that pattern, right? And wait until we start tying it in with Apex. We're going to probably do that in about 2 weeks. Tie it in with Apex, show you exactly what the markets are going to do. And you're going to have a very high accuracy when you start doing these trades. All right, everyone? So I'm going to keep an eye on GJ. I'm going to wait for the 20-minute mark to close, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know if you're going to buy this currency or not, or what we're going to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's looking very promising. It's looking very good. So it is a very big possibility. But all right, everyone, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys all next week. This week, I am here, so I'm going to try and work. I'm going to do my best to get the schedule out for the rest of the month. I have a baby due in, like, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I can't tell. Maybe less. So I'm also trying to work around that. So I want to try my best to do the schedule for the whole month. But if anything changes, I'll let you guys know in advance and put those times out there. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. I will see you all in the next one.